I'm going to start off first with some of the things that we know for sure. We have requested in the state legislature this year. We have made a request for a third Superior Court judge due to some issues we're having with getting on time and out the door some of our civil cases. And so we're thank you very much to Representative Haig and Senator Sheldon for sponsoring that legislation. We also have a reimbursement request for extraordinary murder charges in the amount of $50,000 that we hope will be included in the supplemental budget once it's been reviewed and approved by the agency of the courts agency. First and foremost on our mind in the county commission are issues around being able to adequately pay for our debt on our welfare sewer. And I'm going to pass it on to Commissioner Neatherlin, who's been working very closely on this issue, to describe what our needs are in that respect.
As many of you know, we have the same problem that Sheldon does. Ours is a little worse, especially in some areas. Right now, just to pay our maintenance and operation and to, cover our debt, we're running about $1 million backwards a year, and there's 187 customers. 403 ERUs, but 187 customers. Running $1 million backwards, there's no way, obviously, that area could cover anything like that. Some of the situations that we have is we do have a few loans out there that are pretty good interest rate. Problem is that they're not stretched out long enough for us to be able to bring down the amount that we need to pay. Some of the things that we're hoping to ask our state legislators for, and also our congressional leaders, is for help in certain avenues when it comes to being able to extend some of the loans that we have. Right now, the Department of Ecology loans that we have is money that was given to them from federal government, and it can only go out to 20 years. If it could be stretched out to 30 years, you can imagine what a huge impact that would be for us to be able to maintain and survive this situation that we have. Another thing that could help us at the state level and at the federal level is the creation of loans where we can refinance some of these other ones that we did perhaps have at 20 years or at a higher interest rate into something that is more manageable to help bring down our debt issue that we're facing. Either which way we look at it, it is a full Mason County issue. It's not a Belford issue. Belford doesn't have any checking accounts, no treasurers, no bucket of money, no leaders. The only thing they have is the county. The county built the system. The county's the one that's on the hook for it. So no matter what happens, if it fails, it's the county that fails. And we have to remember that. So we're out there actively seeking help to try and overcome these issues. But on top of that, we're looking at many different avenues, including creating a line of credit to cover some of the last parts of it. We're looking at creating a ULID in order to have buy-in from the community, but also another tax base that could help to pay for some of these things. But we're looking at every single avenue that we can come up with, but obviously there is no simple answer, because right now, running $1 million backwards a year, you can imagine that's not easy. That's a lot of cops, that's a lot of employees, that's a lot of everything. And we hope that when the opportunities come up, that all of you at the table will help support these ideas and perhaps any legislation that may come up in order to solve these problems. Because if it helps us, it's going to help you, because you're going to be telling us you're in the same situation.
Thank you, Commissioner. Related to that, we do know that our role as the County Commission is to stimulate the kind of growth that we need and the hookups that we need to help make that a self-sustaining sewer. And one of the things we'd like to do is to stimulate more housing, especially multifamily housing in the North Mason area. We're in dire need of it in general, and more specifically, we can sure use the hookups. There is in state law an authorization to forgive the increased value of property tax on multifamily housing development or condo development for 8 years. That is an authority given only to cities. And we are working really hard to get a bill dropped, and Representative Haig, thank you very much for offering to sponsor that, to extend that to unincorporated urban growth areas such as the North Mason area, or we're trying to find out where would be that definition that would be most suitable for us in particular, but we hope that this would be something other counties can take advantage of. And we will be working with our new economic development director to do some really aggressive recruitment of retail development up there as well, because we do need more commercial to save the retail sales tax leakage. In relation to the economic development of the North Mason area is, of course, our need for the Belfair bypass. for freight mobility, to open up the lands up above for housing and as well. And we are very delighted and thank very much Congressman Kilmer's office for helping bring together a good, strong coalition of organizations, the Port of Bremerton, North Leeson Chamber, the Port of Orchard, City of Port Orchard, City of Bremerton, Kitsap County Regional Coordinating Council, Kitsap County, a broad base of groups who have a list of projects that will help bring the infrastructure needed to the SKIA, the South Kitsap Industrial Area, and bring on down to the North Mason area, some of the, specifically the bypass, perhaps an intertie to our sewer to provide the sewer needs that are up there. And we will be aggressively working down at the state legislature this year to help promote these needs and these options. And again, I thank Congressman Kilmer's office for your work in helping bring this coalition together. Other needs on the public safety realm are, I do want the state legislature to be very aware that we are struggling to be able to meet the caseload, indigent defense caseload requirements brought down by the Supreme Court. They did give district court a one-year leniency while they look at weighting some of the cases, but those caseload limits have most specifically increased our budget in indigent defense because it's just very difficult to keep everybody at these caseload limits and be able to provide adequate defense. And that trickles down to so many other areas of our budget. And so we just are hoping that the legislature will be very aware of how these case limits are affecting local government. At the very least, we could use some help in keeping adequately staffed in indigent defense. At the federal level, the Prison Rape Elimination Act is causing us a little bit of cost in this year's budget, but I foresee it expanding quite a bit as we have to work to separate certain offenders within our prisons. We are already at capacity. We are launching a jail upgrade project which will add 44 beds, but we're still learning what the impact of the CREA is going to be, and we just want you to be aware that these mandates need to come down with some help. That would be very nice. And then I'm very, very delighted and thankful that the City of Shelton, Mason County, and the Economic Development Council, as well as 2 private landowners, are working together in a collaborative fashion to add 444 acres of industrial zone land in Mason County in our Shelton urban growth area. This is an opportunity for us to be more proactive, to be ready for any industry that we can recruit into this area, any businesses. I'm just delighted that we're working in this proactive fashion because nothing will say no to recruiting a company if they have a 3-year wait on a rezone or anything else. I thank so much the City of Shelton for being a lead on this, and we're very excited to have this opportunity. The most exciting part about it is our potential area that we are looking that we'd like to see it maybe go is already served by water, sewer, and roads. So again, we hope this will be a turnkey project because the efforts will include some upfront environmental review that will help expedite any industry that may come, business that does come in. And then my final, one other specific project to the Mason County is we are going to be launching our first, our efforts on our mental health substance abuse sales tax. We started collecting that tax in 2012, and we just finished the review process for contract proposals to do intensive case management of mental health and substance abuse services, not providing the services themselves, but creating the care plan and managing that care plan with the support of a mentor group targeting 3 specific population groups: the veterans, the incarcerated, and our vulnerable adults and children or populations. I'm very excited. I think it's very thinking outside of the box way to use these funds, and we'll keep you posted on what that does. We're hoping it has that ripple effect of reducing the social costs as well as directly the county budget. And then finally, I just want to make sure that our state representatives are very aware of the county's needs, which were very well articulated, our fiscal needs through the Washington State Association of Counties. I won't go through those because I'm sure they'll have their own briefing with you. But very, very urgent for you to be able to understand how by being the implementer of the rules that come out of the state legislature, we need you to be very, very aware of the impacts it does have on our budgets and our revenue stream.